All right, my friends, welcome back to Real Estate Bites. Coming at you most Fridays with some news, insights, peeling back the curtain on the real estate industry. I missed you guys last Friday. I could not, StreamYard was bugging, and for the life of me, I could not figure out how to launch the program. It just wasn't allowing me to get into the virtual studio. So, at any rate, hey, I got big news this week. Your boy here has launched his own brokerage, Civitas Real Estate Group. All right. So Civitas, it's not even 2 weeks old yet, this brokerage of mine. I had a lot of people, some who care about me, some who clearly don't care about me, ask me the same thing. Why? Are you out of your mind? I'll tell you why. I love a challenge. I'm always looking for growth, always looking to make something a little bit bigger, a little bit better than where I was. So, it's not that I was necessarily tired of a role with sales. And, it certainly was nothing against my former brokerage of Russ Realty, great company and great people who are there. It is simply I was looking for the next challenge and the next development in my career. And, underlying all of it, I have a real desire to teach and to coach agents on how to create a business similar to what I've been able to do. So what that means, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, is I'm looking for a specific type of agent. So I'm here in my new office in Learwood Square in Avon Lake. Just moved in here a couple weeks ago. It's fully functional. We're up and running. It's good to go. So what is it? Civitas Real Estate Group. Why did I name it Civitas? So initially, I wanted to name the company something that lent to the idea of community. And then I had a lot of people very close to me say, no, Jonathan, name it after yourself. So I capitulated and I decided to name it Right Realty Sales and Service. However, when I submitted that name to the state, they said no. Apparently there's a couple rights that are operating in the Cincinnati area, and the state would not allow me to use my name. So I was kind of in a quandary because I had already gotten a lot of stuff in motion and needed to come up with a name in a short amount of time. And so I forget what we were doing. I think my family and I were, mostly me, was watching Jeopardy or something. And some Latin word came up and I thought, what is community in Latin? And it's civitas. Civitas means community. And I think it's perfect because not only does civitas doesn't just mean community. Civitas means the collective body of people that make up the community and their ability to create together versus as an individual. And so Civitas, when I learned the word, it was perfect to me because, going back to the kind of agent that I want to work with, I can, if I were to trace back, if I were to look at the last 18 months of sales, and I trace it all the way back, I trace that referral tree all the way back to the roots. Now, I haven't done this, but I probably should because I say this all the time, but I know. I mean, I would say 95% of my sales have come through referrals based upon the work that I've done in my community. I have been dedicated to my community for a long time as a youth sports coach, sitting on various boards at the city and stuff like that. And so the relationships that I have built doing those sorts of community-wide things are where my business has come from. So my business, my brand, is symbiotic with the community where I live, where I work. And it's not just the city of Sheffield Lake or the city of Avon Lake where I'm based here. It's also the jiu-jitsu community, the F3 community. These people whom I have grown these relationships with in these various circles are where my business comes from. And so eventually, as I begin to recruit agents, as of right now, there are 4 who come over with me from Russell. But right now I'm working on building out this office, which is the finishing touches are almost done. I'm also working on building the foundations of this business because I intend to do this a long time. But once I am in full recruitment mode, I'm looking for agents who want to make an impact in their community, who want to, take their efforts and their talents, bring those to their community, leverage themselves to improve their community, and with that symbiosis, create a brand and a base in their community that then brings them business. There's absolutely no reason it shouldn't work out that way. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, I've stated this before on this program, We licensees we're public entities, right? We are publicly licensed people. It says in our canon of ethics through the state that we are supposed to be upright citizens representing ourselves and our brand in all things, no matter what. So one thing that I am fully aware of, and every other agent out there needs to be fully aware of this, whether you are at a listing consultation, showing houses, coaching soccer, out at the bar, sitting on a community board, whatever you're doing in the course of your day, you are a representative of yourself, your business, and your broker. You're never off. You're always on. And so even though when I'm coaching high school soccer, I'm not immediately and directly doing real estate related activities, I know the way that I comport myself, the way that I coach and train and treat these kids and their families, the way that I attempt to have an impact in their lives. It is a direct reflection of me, my brand, and how I'm going to do business. And that is why I've been able to grow a good business and live comfortably enough to feel like the next challenge for me in my career trajectory is opening a brokerage. So here we are. Civitas Real Estate Group has been born. And I got to tell you, I'm so excited. I'm so pumped up. Again, got a fully functional office here, and I can't wait to help you guys out. Whether you are a homeowner or a buyer who's looking to enter the marketplace, whether you are an agent who's looking to grow their business and have an impact in your community. I've been doing it a long time. I've got many strategies, many ideas about how you can take your talents and impact your community and your business simultaneously. So that is the big announcement and the big news this week. Next week, we'll get back to some more regularly scheduled programming where I bring news and guests and things like that. But had to announce that Civitas Real Estate Group is open for business, and we can't wait to serve you. All right. So with that said, let's get into this past week's statistics. You guys know this. We always finish the show talking about last week's statistics. So let's take a look here. All right, so these stats, I pull them all from the MLS. You can see last week I did my stat line here, but couldn't get the show to launch, so it's just a stat line. But I pull every week from the MLS, only in Lorain County, and I'm only looking at single-family homes and condos. I'm not including multifamily, 2 through 4 units. I'm not including mobile homes in this search. I use Lorain County as a sample size, not just for Northeast Ohio, but pretty much the Midwest. The trends that I see when I look at these stats week to week, they follow throughout the Midwest with a couple of exceptions, Chicago being one of them. But, the coasts are different. But throughout the Midwest, the trends that I see here, when I look at Lorain County stats, they stand pretty true throughout the Midwest. So these are all sales that closed in the week leading up to this show from last Friday. So the inventory this morning, there were 472 condos and single-family homes available for sale this morning at 8 a.m. when I checked these stats. There were 89 closings last week. The median square foot of homes sold was 1,622. The median sale price was $300,000. The median square foot value. All right, guys, this is the stat that we watch, that we're looking at to determine in real time what's going on with prices. $185.94 per square foot was the median square foot value of homes sold in the week leading up to this. Guys, this is the first time. Let's just take a look back. All the way back to the beginning of the show, 96 episodes ago, 95 episodes ago, whatever, right? All right, don't look at the first handful because I screwed up here, this 160.88. As you can see, I accidentally averaged out the first, 8 weeks of the program, but 9 weeks. But since then, take a look. These are median values, and we use median because it gets rid of the outliers, okay? So we started about 144. You can see bounce between 143 and 150 on average, 138, right? But it kept growing, it kept growing, it kept growing. We have not seen anything above 180. For that matter, I don't think we saw anything above 174 until this week, okay? So there's 171, 172.50. Keep on scrolling here. We're almost done. I know we got a 173.83. I think that was the high. 173.80. Oh, there's 175.62. Okay. 177.78 just 2 weeks ago. So basically 178 to 186, $8 a square foot more in 2 weeks' time. Our median square foot value jumped. Now, obviously, as you saw through that column, it goes up and down, but we've never seen above 180 in this stat line until this week. Prices are going up, guys. If we bounce over here a couple to column I, 6.72% was what it was for a conventional mortgage on average this morning. But, that's not the best we've seen. We are down to nearly 6 over the winter time. I think 6.13 was about the low that we got. So we're still a good 60 basis points above that. So it's not lower interest rates that are driving demand and price. It is, as I've been saying for years, an inventory situation. Many, many things affect demand. Many, many things affect price. But these prices continue to go up. This square foot value continues to increase bit by bit, week after week, month after month. And the reason why is because there are only 472 houses and condos available in all of Lorain County this morning. 5 to 6 years ago, we're nearly triple that number. All right, guys? It's an inventory story. And the only relief that we get from increasing prices either come from an increase in inventory to balance out the supply and demand equation, or something terrible in the economy happens, which nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants home values to be affected by an economic black swan. Okay, that's not going to be good for anybody. All right. So average days on market for homes sold last week was just 2 weeks. Again, they're not sitting long in the market, guys. I mean, that 2 weeks is getting on the market, advertising, showing, receiving offers, negotiating, getting under contract, and then passing through financing as well as inspection contingencies before. That's all happening within 14 days. Okay. Homes are not sitting on the market very long on average here in Lorain County. Home prices continue to go up bit by bit. All right. The big sale of the week last week was $832,385 in Southport in Avon Lake. It was under construction. There are no pictures, so I got nothing to show you about the big sale of the week last week. Guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Listen, I'm going to keep bringing this stuff to you. If the content that I'm sharing with you, if you find value in it, if a friend, a relative, a contractor, somebody somebody in your life could use some of this information. I mean, we talk about everything from, like you just saw, what's going on with the market in our county, to home security, staging. We've had a ton of episodes with a ton of different topics. And so if you have friends who are interested in this, please share the program. Hey guys, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you guys. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of one another. I love you people. I'll see you next week.